So it started. I'm in an MBA and I'm thinking, man, this is it. I'm on the journey. I'm on the road to like some incredible business success, life-changing, transformative, and everything like that. Go through the business foundations. Man, I'm on this. I'm feeling, oh man, this is exciting, totally amazing. Let's get going. Course starts. First thing we do, accounting. So accounting, rightly or wrongly, I think rightly, gets this reputation of being something that's boring, by the numbers, you know, minutiae, perfect for people with OCD, that kind of stuff like that. And, well, pretty much that's true. So I'm not going to dissuade you from that here. But it is kind of important. You know, I think, like it or not, and I think most people like it, business is about making money. And the only way you can know if you're making money is by looking at numbers. And the numbers have to be in great big sheets of things like this, and you know, you have to see how much you spend here, how much you make here, and all the rest of that stuff. It's accounting. That's kind of the heart of business, and I guess that's why we started with it. I can't lie, I'm a software developer. I like numbers. And there's something kind of weirdly satisfying about accounting. I do the accounting, first pass accounting for Zonmaster, so I'm not completely unfamiliar with it. So, you know, it wasn't so bad for me. The accounting has about 7-8 modules in the accounting concentration. The first thing, of course, is to get this idea of debits and credits out of the way. Why, oh why, is accounting like this? You know, I have a bank account, you know, and I have a debit card and I have a credit card. Why does that have nothing to do with how debits and credits work in accounting? It depends on which side of the equation it is, if it's an asset, if it's a liability. A debit might increase something, but it might decrease something else. Anyway, so you spend the first week learning about what the hell debits and credits are. Pretty important. Not always clear to me, but anyway, pretty important. Then you move on to, you know, revenue and expenses. And this was a bit weird. And the funny thing is I talked to other people and they had the same thing. You would go out, you know, you'd spend all day reading about revenues and expenses and journal entries, and then you go out for dinner or something like this, and you'd use your credit card and you think, okay, which side of the equation do I put this thing on? It is that kind of impact. So revenues and expenses. Then we talked about stocks and bonds, you know, how companies can raise money and how they can borrow money, financing basically. Then we can talk about financial statements. And this is really where you get down to the point where you see a journal, you know, where the numbers are coming in, how these numbers add up, what these numbers mean, how you break them down into categories and things like this. This is, I think, the most crucial part of the accounting, but like, you know, you have to kind of build your way up to it. Then we go into working with ratios, and, you know, if you invest in the stock market, you probably know about price-earnings ratio, but we talked about many other ratios that are not just necessarily about investing. Fascinating. This was kind of fascinating, and now I'm starting to show the fact that I like the numbers, you know, so it is to go into that little stuff and to learn about these other ratios and to balance the books. Kind of exciting in a weird way. And then managerial accounting, which is creating kind of a set of books that are not about reporting and not about going to the tax man, but are about maybe getting a higher level overview of how your company is doing, where the money is going, where the money is coming from, and all the rest of that stuff like that. And then finally, there was a section about creating financial statements, and we are told to go off and create financial statements using Excel. Now, this was one of the things I questioned about this. I don't know why. Everyone says, well, it's an industry standard. I don't know why we have to use Excel. I personally don't use any Microsoft products. I don't have any Microsoft products on my computer, and I'm not going to put them on there. I managed to do that module using Google Sheets. So it can be done if you have some experience in Google Sheets, and you can tweak some of the formulas, because the thing is financial statements in Excel. You need to make some modifications. So we did those 7 things, and then we had our first exam. And that's kind of where we are now. I just wrote the exam the other day, and I did pretty well. Thank you very much for asking. And the exams in Quantic are open book exams, which doesn't necessarily mean that they're easy. You have to. Oh, there's a huge rainbow over there. Sorry. It doesn't mean that you have to, they're totally easy, but it's great to be able to reference the material because this is, technical material. It's very specific, talking about numbers. Now, there are people in this course who struggled with this module, and I've talked to some people who really had a tough time with it because they don't come from a numbers background, or they're just not numbers people, and there's nothing wrong with that. And the other thing is that we don't use accounting software, and let's face it, nobody's going to do financial statements in Excel anymore. Everybody's going to use some kind of online tool or to do that. Quicken, or I use Zoho Books. There's a lot of solutions out there so maybe you don't need to be able to recreate this in Excel yourself, but being able to do it is important. So those people who struggled, I know they had a tough time, and there were people who were really frustrated. So this is an MBA. It's a master's level thing. There's going to be stuff you don't know. Why are you taking it if you know everything anyway? So expect that. One of the things I would say is that you are going to be pushed out of your comfort zone, and you don't have to become a masterful accountant, when you do this, but you do need to understand the concepts. I think that's really important. So we got through, we did our exam, and now we're on to an accounting project. So these videos are getting shorter and shorter because I'm not going to go into the details. I don't think I should, and I don't really see the value. I mean, me giving you a one-line summary of everything and trying to relay some concepts isn't going to really help you if you're trying to understand if you should be taking this Quantic course or not. What is going to help you is hearing from other students, and I think that's coming up next in my next video. And what is also going to help you is if you interact with me, if you ask me questions, if you want to know things about Quantic, the Quantic EMBA, EMBA, which I'm in, or any other questions, please put them in the comments below, and I'll address those in future videos. So I think I'm done this one. This is the point where everybody leaves. You can watch the chart and everybody leaves the video at this point, as soon as I say that. But hit the like button, subscribe, bell notification for more videos about the Quantic EMBA, and for just kind of roundtable chats, I think, about what it's like to be a student and how we're going to apply that. I think that's really what's coming up, and that it's going to be the value ongoing of this podcast, or whatever it is, video series. Thanks for watching. All the best to you. See you soon.